Yeah, cool. The question is related to in-store pickup delivery method. Eugene, I think it will be better if can ask this question. I think it's the last
So I
one.
I assume you're talking about point number 7. So yesterday we have been talking about the implementation of the shipping method for the store pickup, and currently Alexander has implemented it in such a way that it allows merchant to customize the store pickup shipping price quite well. So it's possible to apply rules and all that stuff, and depending on the conditions, determine the price for the store pickup. So my question was, is it something that we really want for the MVP, or is it something that maybe might be out of scope for MVP? Because, well, I didn't even expect at first that store pickup would have some price, and that price can be that adjustable.
So if we don't include this new part of the build-in in the MVP, how would it work? It would just be free in all cases?
I expect, well, I think it's either free or configure price, right?
It's
Alexander,
like
confirm.
a flat rate. Yeah, you can just enter price in admin panel, and all delivery will be with a fixed price. But merchant can customize and I don't know make that price of delivery will depends on which source is selected or something like that.
Yeah, I think for MVP, if we can have just a constant rate, which could be zero, that's sufficient for the MVP. And then we can add, more complex configuration or rules for determining the rate charged for in-store pickup in a later phase.
Okay.
Okay, so pretty much, okay, I got your point. Okay, sounds good. Maybe Alexander or Max would proceed with the next points.
Yeah, okay. I will start. The first point is related to basically to the API usage of in-store pickup, and the question is, does we expect that pickup locations will be required in API and they can can be assigned for some sales channel other than website. Yeah.
Uh, what do you mean by that? Because currently we have stocks are only able to assign to website. I mean, we talked about maybe extending that in the future.
So I
Um,
believe the question relates more to the APIs and implementation, because currently, yes, we indeed support only website, but on the API level, we pretty much allow external developers to implement their own sales channel, and they can do that by, well, by using all of the APIs we provide for all of the entities, and all of those entities support the sales channel concept. So I believe the question is about this.
well, I'm
Yeah.
fine with following a similar approach for pickup then. Um, it's normal that we can have a bit more functionality, especially with some custom work leveraging the APIs than we do on the admin interface.
Yeah, and on top of that, I seen already some people on the chat and on other channels asking questions about this. So I assume somebody already implements different types of sales channel. And I think not this week, but maybe next week, we'll have a guy who will present his extension for MSI, which also does pretty much the same thing, like binding a sales channel, I think, to store view or something. So yeah,
Right.
I believe somebody already works on that, and we should support it as well.
Okay. Uh, okay. The second question is about taxes. we have tax calculation, and tax calculation can really depend on even I think postcode. So the question is the correct way of calculating taxes is based on the billing address of the customer, or it will depends on pickup location address where order will be picked up. I think last, but to double check.
Yeah, isn't this, I mean, we should handle this already in Magento in the tax engine, that we have a billing address and a shipping address. In the case of in-store pickup, we have a shipping address, which is the address of the source. So I don't know that we need to do anything custom for in-store pickup. We just need to use the source's address as the shipping address when we're calculating taxes.
Yeah, cool. Okay, next case is a little bit complicated. It's about ship button and notify order is ready for pickup button. So situation that order was placed with in-store pickup delivery method, but in last call, customer just told that he want to deliver it with usual delivery. For current implementation, as we have a shipping address and the address of pickup location, we can edit this address in the order. But in case of delivery method, we need to make reordering of this order. And how to be a correct way to handle this situation. The question is, do we really need a ship button and notify order is ready for pickup button for in-store pickup orders? Because actually we cannot make shipment with different methods than order was placed.
Yeah, I understand. So, and this is something I can't remember without going back in the admin and trying it. So it's not possible, so ignore the in-store pickup, but just on a regular order, even a single source order, it's possible to change the shipping address, but not the method at the time of shipment?
Yes.
Okay. Then I think we need to keep the same approach here. I mean, it's a bit of an ugly workaround. In the unusual case that someone does not want to come pick something up, they can cancel it and make another order. I mean, that is the workaround that they have to do. Because otherwise, then I think we're looking at making more of a change to core than we are to MSI. Because I would want to enable the same thing on all types of orders, not just orders from multiple sources, or not just orders that have an in-store pickup source that would allow you to change the shipping method. I might have to test it. I'm a bit surprised that it's not possible to change the shipping method. Of course, it's never possible to charge the customer a different amount of money once we've already captured the payment. I understand that, but I thought it might have been possible to change the shipping. Anyway, so for now, because you're saying we have a shipping method of in-store pickup, then there's no need for the ship button because there's nothing you can do with the ship button.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So let me test this really quick, but what I would say while I'm testing it is, yeah, we're not going to need the ship button because if you can't change anything with it, there's no point in putting the ship button in the UI.
I think this is something that we also have to have a specific documentation task for, because that might be confusing in the first place, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, we can go on. I'll try and make some fake order here and see what I find out. Yeah, it looks like it's completely hard coded. I mean, I can share this screen, but there's not that much to see. But you can see here. So this is just an order that had already come in. So if I go back, it's in pending state, and it was supposed to be a flat rate shipping method. If I click ship, then I can edit the shipping address, but I can't change this. I can only add the tracking information. Let me just double check, make sure, because I just added some more shipping methods and clear the cache if that's not a problem.
Oh, here comes another question.
Yep.
Should we make it possible to edit the shipping address after order is created? Placed by store pickup.
For store pickup order.
Nah, I don't think we need to do that. We'll definitely, yeah.
We need to remove this possibility for admin user also.
Yeah, because if they were able to edit it, there's a lot more that they have to do, right? Because then yeah, I can't change this. The shipment notification email, I mean the pickup notification email then would be incorrect. There's a lot of other things that would have to be done right in order to support that change.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say for MVP, definitely let's just override that and remove the ability to edit the shipping address for in-store pickup. It will only reflect the address of the source.
Okay, and case when the order was paid, just trying to figure out. So we cannot cancel the order, but I think we cannot reorder, or we need to create credit memo first.
I'm sorry, the case, did you say the order was split or?
The order was paid.
Oh, paid. Okay.
And customer want to, okay, we discussed that if order just placed and after that customer call and say that I don't want to store pickup delivery, I want flat rate, admin cancel this order, create new order and select the other shipping method. But case when order was paid, I don't know, some online payment with credit card, and we cannot just cancel the order because it was paid, and we need to create a refund and after that reorder, or
Well, excuse me for interrupting, but as for me, it's not something related to the store pickup functionality. It's just an usual case of Magento.
Yeah, I think we have the same options that we would on any regular order. So
Yeah.
the sales rep or whoever speaks to the customer at that time, if the order is already paid, they can cancel it and issue a credit memo, refund back to the credit card, and do a new one on the same credit card. Get that information from the customer, or they could refund it to store credit and then apply that store credit to the new order. Same thing they would do. I don't think we need to handle this in any different way.
Yeah, I agree. Screen is visible, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, also about in-store pickup on shipping cart step, case of estimation of shipping and taxes. How we deal with it? From the last call, we didn't make a decision about this.
Well, the order summary now. Let me just pull it up really quick, but it just has an estimated shipping. But you're saying because they wouldn't have selected the pickup location by that point, we don't have anything relevant to show?
Mm-hmm.
Let me just see if I get this to come up. Yeah, let me share this real quick. So here I'm in the cart, this block. If I bring this down, well, if you think about how we answered the other question, though, it may not matter. In this case, on the store, I have a couple different shipping methods, but we'll have one called in-store pickup, and we just already answered that it's going to be a single price, either fixed or free. And so we would just say in-store pickup. Doesn't matter what the store is. It'll have the price, and then when they proceed to checkout, they will go through and select it.
Okay, what about instead of using zero price for store pickup shipping, create something kind of configuration which can be configured per website? So, for example, customer wants to set the price for $5. Why not?
Yeah, but it's also possible. The idea that it doesn't matter
okay,
which.
It's another team. I switched to another question.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
So, and another question. We suggest to create a configuration for setting the shipping price for store pickup instead of just hard coding zero value. So just make it a zero by default, but make it possible to configure per website, for example.
Yeah, and that would be just a fixed price per website. So I could say, €5 for one website, €3 for another website.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And then that's the same price that will display on the estimate that I just showed, as well as what they are charged for the pickup. We should set that, have that setting default to 0, and then they can override the use default checkbox and put in their own value if they want to. And it will use, the same currency as the website based on which scope is selected.
Do we take the zip code into the consideration? Because that estimation field also comes with the city and zip, and I assume we might have a situation where pickup location is not available in the customer's area. So how do we handle that? Because we already have an API service which would pretty much determine availability for us, but still I believe it would require some kind of additional settings for it to work correctly.
Yeah, I think for now we just don't, because the price is the same for any customer. So for every website, the price for in-store pickup is the same across all sources. We don't guarantee availability at the source anyway, so it's just at the stock level. So if they have something in their cart and there's sufficient quantity to purchase it, they can do in-store pickup. This section, or the block that I just showed, it's just an estimator. So it will estimate the correct price for the user without having to take into consideration the zip code, state, and country. And then when they complete the later steps in the checkout, they will be able to select, the source or store that they want.
Okay. So here comes another question. Could we implement the possibility to create store pickup orders using the min panel?
Yes, we should. The way it works in the admin panel, because we have in-store pickup as a method, right?
Yeah.
So if I have that as an enabled shipping method, when I go and create an order, it should work. No, it won't work by default. You'll have to create it. But the only choice that they're setting is to select the source. While they're making that, I'm just going through the steps here real quick. Let me reorder something. Show this. So I have these options here. There's a couple different areas. So I would expect to see, an in-store pickup, and I can check that, but then there's going to have to be a drop down of the available sources for the stock assigned to the website that I'm placing the order for, or the store view here. And then the other piece is that either we have to prevent entry here on shipping address, or just ignore whatever is here if the admin user selects in-store pickup.
Okay.
I don't know which one of those is easier to do. Just ignoring this input, or we can, Ajax, if you click in-store pickup, this is going to gray out or something.
We will see.
Okay.
Next one. I think you can.
Okay, we already implemented the mechanism of adjusting the available quantity for the source selection algorithm in case of there are already existing active orders placed by store pickup for the certain source. So the source items should be reserved to avoid unneeded internal transportations. However, here comes a question: should this functionality be configurable? So the adjustment of quantity itself.
What type of setting would you allow them to configure?
The idea that we can have a race condition in case that some customer place order in store pickup delivery for source. For example, I don't know, quantity 3, and on source there is only 3 quantity, and some other customer place order with just regular order with quantity 3. And the idea of functionality is to reserve this quantity on the selected source, and do not give possibility to ship it with just a regular for a regular order. And the question is, do we need to have this this feature configurable just to have possibility to disable it and do not reserve quantity for in-store pickup methods, just to give possibility to create shipment without any problems?
Yeah, so maybe I'm not following. In the scenario you described, if we assume that we have 3 quantity and the first order comes in, which is an in-store pickup order, we would reserve 3. So for the second order, unless there's back orders enabled, it's not possible to place that second order. Is that the scenario you're talking about?
No.
How to find your article on Medium?
No. The quantity, available quantity is much more than 3. Probably there is some other sources, but in a certain source there is only quantity of 3. Yeah.
There should be a screenshot.
Yeah, I understand. So maybe there's for the stock there's a quantity of 100, but for the source that the first order comes in and the customer selects, there's only 3. They take all of them. So the sellable quantity is 97. Second order can come in. They could buy 50 if they want. but those are not automatically assigned to the source anyway.
But the problem that customer can create shipment and deliver this 3 quantity from the source where previously in-store pickup order was placed. And
Right.
To complete in-store pickup orders, will be required to make internal transportation, and something that we think is not good, and we would like try to avoid.
Yeah, it is a problem, and we have to try to avoid it. It's something, if we have much more complex omnichannel software, we could look at doing that, because we already have the similar scenario where I have an available quantity in a stock, but not in the source that I want. We're not making reservations down to the source level, so we already don't guarantee the inventory will be available without an internal transfer. And those internal transfers are a bit manual for the merchant, so they need to monitor whether they have enough inventory, and if they don't, they need to make an internal transfer to be able to tell the customer their order is ready for pickup.
Yeah.
Well, okay. We don't really create any reservations, but just make the SSA algorithm keep the needed quantity. The problem is this functionality is already implemented, and there should be a way to disable it or something like that.
Yeah, actually, the functionality that for on step of source selection algorithm, we deduct the quantity which for orders which was placed with in-store pickup method and they didn't ship yet from the sources, and in the result that from described example, the source will be shown as with quantity with quantity 0 for in the step of creation shipment for the second.
Right. I think that's the best thing that we can do without adding a lot of complexity to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you suggesting that we enable them through a setting to turn that off, so it wouldn't make the?
Yes.
What's the use case that you see for why they would want to turn it off?
Well, for example, one customer placed an store pickup order with 100 of items, and in that case, the source selection algorithm can show 0 for all the sources. For example, if there are really lots of store pickup orders pending. Well, I'm not sure if it is the real case, but.
So you're saying that order for 100 is a pickup order, or it's a shipment order?
A pickup order.
Yeah, I don't think this is necessary for MVP. It doesn't really, because we have the same problem already. The higher level problem is we don't guarantee availability at the source. It's only at the stock level. So if I have 10 sources and they each have a small number of inventory quantity, and I order 100, yeah, it's going to be pretty difficult for the merchant to transfer all of those items internally to support an in-store pickup of 100 items. But that's just how the system is for now. And really, I think if they have that many sources and that much complexity, they might need to, do something differently.
Well, it can break the source selection algorithm anyway for the rest of orders in case there are really many store pickup orders. So all the quantity, in case all the quantity available is decreased, source selection algorithm will think that, oh, we have no any quantity in any source.
I think in that case.
Yeah, for the order of 100, you could easily have a scenario where there's not sufficient quantity in any source to pick it up. The only way to get to that quantity is several internal transfers to one source, and then do the pickup.
I'm talking not about the store pickup order, but a general order.
Maxim means that if for some source we will have a lot of in-store pickup orders, and the source selection algorithm in that case will every time think that there is quantity just 0. In case we will create shipment from some other orders than in-store pickup order, and the problem is that it can be the optimal.
Okay, I suggest just to send you the screenshots and just for the presentation of the functionality we are talking about and discuss it later.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so the next on our list. Okay, we have no question in our list.
Okay. Well, yeah, go ahead and if you want to send screenshots through on that last one, just to make sure I understand everything to get you the right answer. Or if anything else comes up, certainly send it by email and I'll address it as quickly as possible.
Okay, we will do. Thank you for your time and for answers.
Yes, thank you very much, and thank you for your contribution. We're very excited to have this.
Guys, I just wanted to double check. Maybe we should make this meeting some kind of recurring because we have questions every now and then. So maybe once a week we can gather, find 30 minutes and talk about all of the questions we have.
Yeah, I think maybe we can address in the stand up if we have any time. There's more questions, then we can answer very quickly. We'll just set up another 30 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay then. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.